had 19 students out of this graduating class that maintained a 4.0 or better for their entire 4 years at Plymouth High School. And I assure you, those classes weren't an easy schedule to do that. 128 of these students kept a 3.5 average or better. That's 1 out of 4, and that equates to about an A- average. 265 of them, or well over half, maintained a B average or better during their entire career. Congratulations. Well, this is the time when I'm supposed to say something brilliant to you, to take you into life and make you successful. And I really don't have anything too brilliant to say. I do have, however, something that you've heard from parents, and you're going to continue, and I'm going to play the part of the parent now. And I want to impart some wisdom to you. Wisdom for me are what I've learned from 60 years, almost 60 years, of making a lot of mistakes. What parents and what we want you to do is not have to go through that, but we know you will, and we know that's one of the ways you're going to learn. However, as you make mistakes and learn from it, be careful what you take away from that. I want to quote Mark Twain. I think he said it better than anyone, and he had a way of doing that. We should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it, and stop there. Lest we be like the cat that sits on a hot stove lid. She will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that as well. But also, she will never sit down on a cold one anymore either. What did he mean by that? Don't be gun shy. Make your mistakes. Don't be willing to take, or be willing, to take chances. Just make sure it's for the right reason. So, I want to give you these 4 pieces of advice. Probably just what you all think you need more of at this point in time. Number 1, always take special care of the people who are close to you and the people that are special in your lives. Most importantly, your parents and family. Some of you are reaching for adulthood, some of you may have been there, but it's not an age. It's not when you turned 16 and could drive, or when you became 18, or when you do become 21. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with when you learn to appreciate your parents. That's when you'll be an adult. I want to quote Mark Twain again when he said, "When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he'd learned in 7 years." Number 2, always use the present and plan the future to ensure you never have regrets in your past. My greatest hope for you was always that you don't end your years at Plymouth and look back and have regrets. Many of you are going to look back and say, I wish I would have done something differently or redone something. That's okay. Learn from that. Number 3, never do less than you are capable of. Complacency and quitting are behaviors that easily become habits. You all know people like that. You've seen them in the classroom, you've seen them on the athletic field, and you're going to see them in leadership positions wherever it is you end up going. You are our most precious resource for the future. We need your energy, your drive, and your passion. Give it all to the world. And finally, every year I hear graduates talk about changing the world. And if it's going to happen, you're going to be the ones that are going to do it. But oftentimes it's how There's a very simple formula to do it, more simple than you can believe. Simple to understand, but not simple to do. As you change the world, first of all, understand there is a natural component of change. It's called conflict. And you better understand that when you begin the process of change. Don't succumb to the personal political agendas, and make sure you're ready to take the responsibility on and follow through with what you started. Here's number 4. You only have to do one thing to make sure you change the world, and that is be morally courageous every day of your life. So what is moral courage? Easy to say, simple to define, and I'm going to define it for you very simplistically. It is simply being driven to do the right thing, no matter what the personal cost. I want to quote 2 people. Mark Twain again, because I think he has a way of saying things so simply for all of us. And also General George Patton, who both talk about the same thing. General Patton said, and I've said this to every graduating class, moral courage is the most valuable and usually the most absent characteristic in men. Mark Twain also said, it is curious that physical courage should be so common in this world and moral courage so rare. I find it curious that 2 people so respected by this world and our culture, coming from such different walks of life, both say the same thing. So if you want to do it, be morally courageous and you will change the world. And if you're willing to do that, I have a new motto for you for the class of 2009 that I want you to leave here with. And it again comes from General George Patton. Class of 2009, tell the world, lead me, follow me, or get the hell out of my way. Congratulations to all of you for everything you've accomplished in the last 10 years.
All right.
And now what you've really been waiting for, the board members would take their positions, and our 2 readers, Mr. Shapansky and Ms. Sutherland. We will present the diplomas to the graduating seniors. Parents, we ask, please, parents and family, please hold your applause until everyone is done. Thank you.
No. Don't hold it.
Oh, you can. Yes.
Mom and Daddy didn't hold it. They can sail it out.
And you said we can't. We can't do it.
No, we're gonna yell.
We can't. It said hold and applause.
We did that last year too. Mom and Daddy did it too. It's not good look. She looked at us, Mom.